The last silver dollar to circulate in America wasn't 50 years ago and the silver Eisenhowers. They did make silver Eisenhowers, but those were for collectors. None of them pushed it to circulation. The last silver dollar in circulation was the peace dollar, 1921 to 1935. And the story inside of those years says everything. But finding a few of them, like a needle in a haystack. Well, the good news is tonight, we got one of those needles. Let's have some fun with it. So the series starts in 1921 after the battle over the reverse design and the final settling of no arrows, we'll use what? Olive branches, and then solved. 1921, the high relief, they stopped that. 1922, the first full year of production, everybody's on board, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. They're making coins pretty religiously up until 1928 and then stop cold turkey. There are no peace dollars in 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. Those 5 years, there were no peace dollars. And then they brought them back in 34, the year we repealed gold. The idea was we're taking gold out of circulation, all denominations. Our largest silver dollar is, well, the peace dollar. We got to bring it back to help offset the coinage needed with all the gold being reclaimed. Then in 1935, we say, well, we're not doing silver dollars either. And that was the last year of the peace dollar. The last 90% silver dollar. So if you look at that group, 21 to 28, and then 34 and 35, there are a couple of these coins that not only have low mintages, how many made versus how few made, right? We also have to look at how many survive. Because the other part of the peace dollar story, it's very similar in scope to that of the Morgan dollar. The Morgan dollar story has an asterisk next to it because of the 1918 Pittman Act, where the U.S. Congress authorized the melting of 60% of all Morgans, and they did. And the silver was used to help the English with their silver certificate funding program problem in India. Well, for us, the silver dollar, the Manhattan Project in the 1940s, the making of the atomic bomb. Silver was an integral part. So what did they do? They used silver dollars. What silver dollars did they use? Well, the ones they just made. Which is why finding 34s and 35s are like finding a needle in a haystack today, my earlier comment. Let's spend a few minutes on this coin, because this is the real deal. This is something special. It ranks number 1 out of all the S-Mint, San Francisco minted peace dollars. A little over 1,011,000 to be exact. But today, for the last 40 years, we have extra information available. Now, in its own right, the mintage really clues into this one is special. It's kind of unique to be the lowest minted, right? It's the lowest S-Mint, period. However, NGC, PCGS, they have been, for the last 40 plus years, recording every single coin they see, whether it's a VG or a Mint State 63. They get 10 of them, it's 10 more dashes. You look at the 34S, this is when it becomes really special. Adding NGC and PCGS together, here it's less than 5,000 coins they've seen, all grades. And then you go to uncirculated, 1,387. Think about that. There's less than 1,400 of these known in uncirculated condition today. So now let's spend a minute talking about what a super slider is. The grading scale was a 70-point scale. It's called the Sheldon scale. 0 to 59 is what they call circulated coin. 60 to 70 uncirculated. Both of the categories, the higher the number, the better the coin. They call it about uncirculated. But when I'm talking about uncirculated coins, where I pause changes the sentence. I'm talking about uncirculated coins, or I'm talking about uncirculated as a coin. There's two different grades there. And in a coin like this, significant value difference. So years ago, my friend Don coined the phrase, literally, super slider. They're about uncirculated AU. They slide by as ungs when you look at them closely. Perfect fit. And it just helps eliminate any confusion. Because I would love to say we're that good at what we do. And we're really good at what we do. But finding a $7,000 coin and making it available for $500 is better than the genie tricks I perform on a daily basis. However, we look for where the discrepancy is on the coin. If uncirculated is $7,000 or $8,000, a 60, and this is a 53 to a 55 and it's 500, where's the circulated coin line? Our competition has circulated coins in that $300-$400 range for middle grade circulated. So we're talking about getting that close to uncirculated, but this close in price to a circ. That's the grade always. Guys, we got to put that clock up. Sorry. Should have been watching the phone calls. Very busy right now. avccoins.com. If it's in your shopping cart, please push it through your shopping cart. Lock it down. This one's almost sold out. And it's because of one thing. Look at that price. The competition sells AU50s. And it's plural. So it's AU50 with an S behind it, which means it could be a 53 to a 55 like ours are. They're at $1,200. Now, with uncirculated coins at the 7,000 range, only a couple more ticks up on the grading scale, I get it. But tonight, I prefer this. I don't know about you. Having my cake and eating it too, every once in a while in life, never a bad thing. Never a bad thing. And again, that storyline on why it took so long for the peace dollar, all of our eagles throughout the 1800s have arrows in their talons. This is the first coin with the olive branch. That solved it. That created the presentation and gives us the ability to even talk about the series today. Everybody, this one is a special coin at this price.